Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me at today's Zales meeting. Now, this meeting is not to go over a new product or a new sale. Rather, I have found that many of us do not know the origins of the very thing that we sell. So, first, I'm going to take us through the history of the wedding rings. Then, we're going to look at the importance of them and symbols with them. And finally, we're going to figure out when and where exactly they were decided to be wedding rings. So, first things first, when the first wedding ring was found, it was actually found on an ancient Egyptian pharaoh. And these rings often depicted snakes eating their own tail, such as a common symbol, not so much today. They use this symbol to symbolize eternity, thus eternal love, thus a wedding ring. However, it did not last very long. You all remember Alexander the Great, right? Good, because here's where he comes in. Soon after, he took over the Egyptians and found their wedding rings to be a good idea. However, he did not keep the style. The Greeks often used pictures of the Greek goddesses such as Cupid or Aphrodite in their wedding rings to symbolize love. However, they held on to this tradition much shorter amount of time than the Egyptians did, because next thing you know, in come the Romans. And they too found this tradition to be interesting. However, they did not use stones or gold to make these rings. They often used copper or iron, and commonly depicted two right hands clasping each other, thus to support. And the jewels, they didn't start putting jewels in these rings until around the 100th century or so. And each jewel stood for something different. Rubies stood for passion, sapphires stood for clarity, and diamonds, eternal love. That's why they are so popular today. However, in the early colonization times of America, they found rings to be a bit over the top. So they often instead gave their women thimbles, and only after the women made something for the house could they turn their thimbles into rings. Now, next thing, they often, as we know today, depicted the ring finger having a vein straight to your heart. We have known this to be true now, which is why we have kept it there. However, I personally find it amazing that they knew that back then without anything. As for the origin of the rings, due to the history, we have already found that they originated in Egypt and have no previous recording of anything before. And with that, I'm going to thank you for joining me while going over the history of wedding rings, the importance of wedding rings, and when and where they were decided to be wedding rings. Thank you.